Hi, I'm Yuval, CTO of Intel Ignite, and today we're hosting a couple of amazing up-and-coming startup founders who disrupt the AI arena. Intel Ignite is a global accelerator for early-stage deep tech startups. Launched in 2019 by Intel Corporation, our program helps founders create world-changing companies through its immersive 12-week program, hands-on mentorship, and vibrant ecosystem of entrepreneurs, industry leaders, domain experts, and investors. Intel Ignite has programs in Europe, Israel, the United Kingdom, and the United States, and has over 170 companies in its portfolio. Collectively, these companies have raised more than $2.5 billion to date. For more information about our amazing program, visit us at our website at intelignite.com.
Hello, everybody. My name is Daniel Lenton, and I'm the founder of Unify, where we're working to bring the best LLM on every prompt. So today I'm going to be going through a short demo, just showing what the platform looks like. So let's get started with the demo. So the first thing you do is you press Try Now. This will take you to our router chat interface, where the question is, what are some of the potential benefits of dynamically routing prompts to different LLMs? We can see that GPT-4 is off to the races, but the router has already finished. We have the router's preferences for quality, cost, time to first token, and inter-token latency here. GPT-4 is still going, still not answered yet, so taking much longer to go through. If we go back to the router, we can see that it's already completed with very fast tokens per second, also very fast time to first token, 0.94 seconds, very cheap as well, e to the minus $4. And again, this fast tokens per second. GPT-4 is finally finished. It was about 100 times more expensive, about 20% slower to get to the first token, and about 8 times slower between each of the tokens being processed, basically. So much slower and much more expensive. What about the responses? We talk about cost efficiency here. Slightly ironically, I talk about reduced latency as well, both things that GPT-4 has done much worse on. And we have very similar answers here for the router. So again, for this question, using the router to get something very fast and cheap was the right approach. But what about if we want to have more customization for the router? This is what this dashboard is all about. So here we have all models and providers. In this case, with this particular row, we have all of the different versions of Llama 2 70B across these different providers. We have the same with Code Llama here, the same with Mixtral 8x 7B here. And on the x-axis, we have the cost per million tokens. And on the y-axis, we have the score with GPT-4 as a judge. And the stars represent our router configurations, which are not individual models and providers, but our dynamic router options. We can change the dataset. Right now, we're using OpenHermes, but we can use any of these datasets as the prompt. We can change the x-axis to time to first token, inter-token latency, etc. So very flexible. We'll stick with cost for now, and we'll use the MT bench dataset. So now let's see what router configuration looks good. We want something that's near the top left, where the cost is low on the x-axis and the quality on the y-axis is high. This router configuration looks pretty good. This one right in the top left has pretty good metrics by the looks of things. So let's use that as a starting point and see how the speed looks as well. So we can change to time to first token. Okay, it's not terrible, but it's also not great. What about inter-token latency? Again, not terrible, but not great either. So let's try this point as well that has better inter-token latency. Okay, the time to first token looks better. It's further left, so lower, but the cost is a bit higher here. So we have something where, let's have a look, try and hover over the point exactly. So with the router configuration, we have something that is about 63 cents per million tokens versus the original one, which is 37 cents. So about twice as expensive, but it is also twice as fast, both in terms of inter-token latency and time to first token. So now let's try these out with GPT-4 as well, and let's throw some prompts at it and see how it does. So we clear the chat, we give another prompt, which is, what are some of the advantages of having multiple LLM providers rather than just one? Now, as usual, the routers have flown off to the races. We have really fast tokens per second, super cheap with this cost optimizing router. Again, not actually quite as fast, not quite as cheap, a bit more expensive and a bit slower with this other router. So the left one seems the best. This one's got very good time to first token, but was not as good on the others. GPT-4 is still going. So as usual, GPT-4 is still answering very slow. We can see why, because the tokens per second were low. It was about 10 times more expensive as well. So this is just showing, 10 times more expensive than the middle one, about 100 times more expensive than the left one. So really just showing when you can control the parameters with the routers, you can get equally good responses at a fraction of the cost and much, much faster. And this is really the main benefit of using Unify's dynamic router. So that's our lightning quick demo. So that's everything from me, but it was really a pleasure to be presenting here. So thank you very much for listening.